The full episode is now available on Patreon and YouTube memberships. Please see the link in the description for more details.
Oh, and real quick, on the topic of Vaemond, since you just mentioned him a little while ago, on the topic of Vaemond, I feel like this person here is your protege. Someone on my Patreon actually disagrees with me.
Oh.
Because I thought episode 8 was a phenomenal episode. This person, Sierra, she disagrees. She says, I feel like such a hater. Apparently I'm the only one who didn't like this episode. I think Vaemond deserved better. His suicide by Daemon felt so stupid. He went into this dispute knowing who he's up against, and also that he's the only claimant without a dragon. Even if he assumed the king was indisposed, it seems so absurd that he wouldn't exactly plan or for any resistance or fuckery. I also think Viserys' Phantom of the Red Keep mask is kind of silly. Dude has a horrible head made all the time.
That's true.
So he chooses to wear a heavy metal thing on his face without any wrapping underneath? If you're a leper, that's how you lose a nose. This is so true, actually.
Okay.
This is your protege here. And finally...
No.
She makes a good point here. And finally, I absolutely do not understand the scene between Alicent and Diana. The Westeros we've been shown wouldn't give a shit about a palace employee being assaulted by a prince. The idea that Alicent would allow Rhaenyra a chance to gain any political advantage with her dad unsupervised, specifically so that she can quote-unquote handle this quote-unquote delicate situation, seems ridiculous. I just don't think we get enough time with these characters. It makes every absurd thing seem especially so. Viserys was the most consistently developed, and now he's dead. Miss Sierra makes a very good point.
I can't disagree. I can't disagree with anything that someone said, that Sierra says. Okay, everything that Sierra says is accurate. It's just how much you want to weigh that against like a powerful scene. Like, does it make sense that Vaemond is going in to make a claim? Now, granted, this follows the source material, but like according to succession laws, like Rhaenyra or Baela should be next in line, not him. Like I get, I get it. Like even George fucks that up by having Vaemond come in, and because Vaemond's petition is from the source material. Vaemond's petition doesn't make sense, but that's George's mistake.
Wait a minute. Succession. I'm always confused on it. I thought it went the male, his sons, then it went his brothers, and then their sons, and then it loops back around to the main guy's daughters, and then no, or it's just
so what George is saying okay, let's really get into this thing. Okay, fine. Fundamentally, there are no real rules. So you've got a couple different principles going around. We know that in Ice and Fire, primogeniture is an issue, which means the bloodline of the firstborn, you go through it, each of the firstborns, and then you exhaust that, and then you go to the next person and on. And then there's another thing called the principle of proximity, which is like how close you are in relationship to the last person. So for instance, take the fact that like Baela and Rhaena are only grandchildren of Corlys means their proximity is 2 steps away, while Vaemond is a brother, so one could say his proximity is 1 step away. So, you could say that Vaemond had better claim via proximity. And George does bring up both primogeniture and proximity in Fire and Blood, but generally speaking, like you kind of go, we think about it as primogeniture, like you go through the firstborn male, and their firstborn male and their firstborn male, and once you exhaust that, you go to the women, and then after they all get exhausted, you go to the secondborn, and then you go through them, and so even in Dance of the Dragons, like John even says, like I think a daughter comes before an uncle and stuff like this, but like so it should go through like the daughter, and then who is Lena, and then it should go through her kids. But one could make an argument for proximity. I suppose that's why there would be a petition, But the fact that they wouldn't put forward Rhaena or Baela's names is kind of odd, because I think the only petitioners were Luke, Rhaenys, and Vaemond, right? Like, one would think that one of the petitioners would be Baelor or Rhaena, but and then the decision would be made. But whatever. But George basically says there are no rules, so people just go for shit. So. A lot of people argue, and they're like, in this very legalist sense, like, no, this person is the next in line. Well, there's no rules. It's Calvin Ball.
And before I let you go, I know I've kept you for an hour and 30. I'm so sorry. Before I let you go, I wanted to ask you one more question. Do you think the changes made to House of the Dragon in regards to the source material about how keeping Rhaenyra alive and the dagger prophecy and all these, and confirming that, because in the source material it's not really confirmed that Rhaenyra cheated on Sir Laenor, because in the source material Jason Luke could still be Laenor's sons. You don't really know.
That's right.
Because of course Laenor in the books is a white man, and in the show he's not.
Well, this brings, and I want to bring up, because this brings up something really fascinating with how House of the Dragon had that scene versus like how that scene would look in the books. So like that scene where Vaemond, this black guy with silver hair, is like screaming at this like white boy with like dark brown hair, how you're no Velaryon. Now, imagine that scene from the book. It would be a white guy with blonde hair, and Rhaenys would be standing there with black hair.
That's right.
And he's sitting there screaming at Luke with his dark hair. Like, just imagine how that scene would look and play in the book versus the show.
Does that mess it up that they made Rhaenys' hair white in the show instead of black?
Oh, absolutely! It's absolutely. They like, it was just another piece of ambiguity that they took away. Also, by making Emma Arryn's hair, we don't know what Emma Arryn's hair looks like, because she's half Arryn. We have no idea if she had silver hair or brown hair. It's never fucking mentioned. So much changes, right? But like, just reimagining that scene as Rhaenys is standing right there with dark black hair, and he's screaming at Luke saying, "You're no Velaryon," based on your looks, like essentially implying that it's based on your looks. Like, the scene would be completely, utterly different if you were faithful to the books, with regards to ambiguity and like how the scene plays. Because it's like, that scene is like so obvious, like, you're no Velaryon. Like, look at fucking me and looking fucking you. Yeah.